This news reaches Hastinapura. Dhritarashtra, as usual, he expresses his happiness. But is he really happy inside? No. Dhritarashtra is not happy inside. But he expresses, oh my God, I'm so happy now. I'm glad that my brother's sons are alive. I cannot wait to see them. And all the kind of drama happens. And Bhishma, Vidura, Drona, all of them are truly happy for them. Truly happy for Panduputra. And all of them actually know that these people are alive, right? And then Duryodhana, Karna. These two people are sulking. They are crying. They are inside. They are literally dying, right? So that is their situation. So they are actually looking for a right opportunity to go and talk to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra knows what is right and what is wrong. Dhritarashtra knows that troubling Pandavas is not a good thing. He knows for the fact that he is the Pedanana of these guys, and he needs to be taking care of them, not plotting against them. And he also knows that all the 5 brothers are very, very humble in nature. They respect him so much, and they have learned, they are educated, they know how to rule the kingdom, they are dharma abiding, and all of that he knows. But he cannot accept it. He cannot accept their prosperity and everything. What? Now, so Dhritarashtra knows everything. Dhritarashtra knows what is right and what is wrong. But his inclinations are always towards bad, because his inclination, he always wants to please his son. And his son wants to trouble Pandavas. So his entire life revolves around the wishes of Duryodhana.
Did you wash your hands?
Don't do that. Actually, it is capturing all that sound in this. Okay. So, but Dhritarashtra also knows for the fact that if he does any kind of things against Pandavas, they are going to get destroyed. Like Kauravas are going to get destroyed, because he knows what is right and what is wrong. He has the sense that, okay, if we try to destroy Pandavas, we only Kauravas and my kids are going to get destroyed. He knows all of that. So he tries to diffuse the situation. He doesn't even try to diffuse. He tries to surround himself by good people like Vidura, all those. So most of the times, Dhritarashtra is always accompanied by Vidura. So Duryodhana and Karna do not even get an opportunity to talk to Dhritarashtra in privacy. So they are just waiting for that moment. So one day, they find their father like alone. So these two people go to Duryodhana, go to Dhritarashtra and say, what are you even thinking? You have come to know that Pandavas are alive, right? So at the end of the entire episode, what has happened is, we tried to kill Pandavas. Pandavas actually did not get killed. In fact, my guy Purochana, you remember who Purochana is? Yeah?
Can I put my sweater away?
Oh, yeah, you can. So, Purochana is the one who got killed. Okay? And I lost my friend. It is me who got destroyed, not them. And here you are sitting and chilling with your brother, Vidura, constantly in his company. You don't even give us an opportunity to talk to you. What do you think you are doing? What do you think will happen to us next? What is the next course of action? Then Dhritarashtra says, see, don't think that I'm very happy with all these kind of things that are happening around. I know what you're going through. But the problem is, I don't know what to do. Right? We have Bhishma and Dronacharya, Vidura, all these people who will not support me. They'll literally throw me out of the throne if I say anything against Pandavas. So, what was I talking? See, I lose the trail of my thought if you behave like this. Tell me where I stopped.
They will throw him out of the throne if they say anything about
throw him out of the throne if they
Yeah.
he says anything.
Yeah. So, in my official capacity, I cannot do anything that hurts Pandavas. That is not going to happen. That is impossible for me to do anything against Pandavas. So tell me, what do you want me to do now? Yeah, did I not support you when you plotted against them in Varanavata? I supported you, right? What else can we do now? At this moment, there is nothing that I can do. And then Duryodhana and Karna says, Karna says first. He says, you know what? Arjuna is the only pain point. Arjuna and Bhima are the only pain point here. Duryodhana, your son Duryodhana and Dushasana can kill Bhima easily. Very easily they can do that. There are two people and Bhima is one. So they can kill them. And I can take care of Arjuna. I am made for that. My goal, the entire goal of my life is to kill Arjuna. So I can kill Arjuna. And who's left? Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja is a very weak person. Dharmaraja can be easily constrained with a rope. It's not a big deal at all. And are you even thinking about Nakula and Sahadeva? They are kids. Forget about them. That is what Karna says. But Duryodhana, being Duryodhana, should be in a position to think straight. Okay, this guy, he was not able to win against Arjuna in the war that had just happened after Draupadi Swayamvara, right? After Draupadi Swayamvara, you remember what had happened? Karna goes in war, and he faces Arjuna, and then during the war he says, Arjuna is the only person who can fight with me like this, and then who are you? He says that's particular sentence, right? So Duryodhana doesn't even say anything against Karna. Karna is making these kind of statements. Duryodhana should have something, some substance in his head that tells him that, okay, Karna is not capable of killing or confronting Arjuna. But he doesn't say that. Because Karna immediately says, see, if it was only Arjuna who came for a war that day, I would have taken him down. But Arjuna came along with Bhima. That is why I was not able to do it. So now you both go and fight with Bhima. I will fight with Arjuna. Then everything will be fine. That is what he says. And Duryodhana is like, yeah, that is correct. Whatever this guy is saying, this is appropriate. This is correct. So they both convince Dhritarashtra. And now they say, okay, the next thing that you need to do, you know what you need to do? You need to go and talk to Bhishma. If Bhishma agrees, if we can somehow manage Bhishma, wherever Bhishma is fighting, on the same side Dronacharya will also fight. Because Bhishma and Dronacharya are very thick friends. Just convince Bhishma and everything is done. We can wage a war with Pandavas and we can win over them. If we are not doing this now, I'll tell you what happens. Eventually, Pandavas will go stronger and stronger and stronger. If they become stronger, it is very, very difficult for us to eliminate them. So we should not let the enemy become stronger. Before the enemy becomes stronger, we have to finish them. We have to kill them. That is what Duryodhana and Karna tell their father. And wherever Drona is fighting, from the same side, Krupacharya will also fight, because Krupacharya's sister Krupi is wife of Dronacharya. And they have a son Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama also will fight on our side, because his father Dronacharya is fighting on our side. See, we have so many great warriors on our side. It is not at all a big deal for us to eliminate 5 brothers. We can do it. With all this nonsense going on, Dhritarashtra is like, he cannot say no to his son. At this point of time, any sane person should tell his son, just shut up. Stay shut. You are so insane to be talking like this about your first cousins. They are also my sons, because they do not have their father. I'm like their father, so you are equal to me. You and Pandavas are equal to me. You need to be dividing the kingdom between into 2 halves, and you have to rule one, and they will rule one, or some kind of adjustment we need to make. Killing them, eliminating them, all these kind of ruthless things, you should never even be entertaining in your head. That is what any father should be telling them. Any father who wants their children to be taking the right path. So the entire time, the entire Mahabharata, the only goal of Dhritarashtra is to please Duryodhana, not to put him into the right path. Please him all the time and make sure that he's happy all the time, at the cost of anybody else's life or peace of mind. He doesn't care about anything else in the world other than his son being happy. So that is the nature of Dhritarashtra. Also, he is jealous. He's jealous of his brother and his brother's sons, because Panduraju was very well respected, right? So he was jealous of it, and he is also jealous of all the 5 sons of Panduraju. So this is the status. And then he goes and talks to Bhishma. Bhishma is like, are you out of your mind? Who goes and talks to Bhishma? Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, because Duryodhana doesn't have any guts to go and talk like this to his grandfather. So he's taking his father's help. And his father is the king, right? Duryodhana is not a king now. Not yet. So he's aspiring to become king. So Duryodhana doesn't have any right to go and talk like this with Bhishma. Who can do that is Dhritarashtra, because Dhritarashtra is the king. So Dhritarashtra goes and proposes this in front of Bhishma. Bhishma says, he slashes that idea altogether. And he says, you are out of your mind to be talking like this. First of all, you committed a huge sin by sending them to a place called Varanavata. And look at all the kind of things that happened with Pandavas in that place. And now you are coming and asking about coming with a proposal of waging a war with them. Are you kind of crazy? And do you know what people in the kingdom are thinking about you and your sons? And as a matter of fact, your sons are my grandsons, and Pandavas are also my grandsons. I do not see any difference between you, the 100 brothers, and the Pandavas. So to me, everybody is equal in my eyes. Why would I kill one set of my grandsons for the sake of another set of grandsons? I want the entire 105 people to be prosperous. I cannot choose between your 100 and this 5. I cannot do that, and everybody is equal to me. And he also goes on and lectures Dhritarashtra that you have done so much of nonsense against them. You have tried to get them killed. You have done everything. But until now, they have never said anywhere, they have never claimed, or they have never said not a single word against you. They could have gone and told people, they could have gone and told Drupada or Krishna or Vyasa that, you know what, my father, my uncle tried to get us killed. But they didn't say anything. Even now, even today, if you invite them to Hastinapura, they come and the first thing they do is they will touch your feet for your blessings. That is the kind of decency, that is the kind of respect that they have got towards you. They are looking at you as a father figure. They don't have father, and they are looking at you as a father figure, and they respect you like the way they respected Panduraju. And you are the one here hatching plans against them. So this is definitely not right. You are not supposed to be behaving like this. And Dronacharya also comes and tells the same thing. And Dronacharya also comes. He says, so you guys are now banking on Karna to kill Arjuna. I am the master of Arjuna. I know the skills of Arjuna. This man is not capable of doing anything to Arjuna. It's impossible. Forget about it. Then Karna and Dronacharya, they have a war of words there. They say that, oh, you always are in praise of Arjuna for no reason. All those things, they happen, and they enter into a war of words. And then after the entire conversation, everybody tells Dhritarashtra, everybody in the sense, who's everybody? Bhishma, Dronacharya and Vidura. All three of them tell Dhritarashtra that waging a war is off the cards, off the table. Don't even think about it. The next thing that you need to do is invite Pandavas to Hastinapura and treat them as your own kids. So the next thing is, oh yeah, and in the meantime, they also talk about Drupada Maharaja. Drupada Maharaja is a very, very nice person. So Drupada Maharaja has a lot of friends, lot of relatives, and he is someone who maintains good relationships with everybody. So now with that kind of a stature, Pandavas have become even more stronger. So if you think that you are going to have a war with these people and win, it should be only in your dreams and not in reality. That is what they say. And now with that said, Dhritarashtra unwillingly sends invitation to all the 5 Pandavas to come to Hastinapura along with Draupadi.